All right, call to order. Myrtle Creek City Council for regular council meeting, for what's the date today? October 21st, 2025. Call to order, roll call, please.
Mayor Luke Dillon,
Here.
Councilor Robert Cheney,
Here.
Councilor Rick Held,
Here.
Councilor Diana Larson,
Here.
Councilor Kathy Ragg,
Here.
Councilor Jamie McElmurray.
And I'll stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Any public presentations? That's not good. Citizens heard on non-agenda items. Consent agenda. Consent agenda, part 1. Approval minutes for regular city council meeting from October 7th. Consent agenda, part 2, acknowledge receipt of payroll and claims report for September 2025.
I make a motion that we accept the consent agenda part 1, part 2. That's good.
All right, any discussion, prior to vote? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Well, carries unanimous. Department reports. 6.1, so we'll jump to 6.2. Finance officer report.
She's not here today.
Anybody, no?
I will present the financial officer report into her in as written.
And she also included the urban renewal on the end, just in case they wanted to see it.
What's the payment, the big elk, are they the ones that are doing our shirts and sweatshirts now? Or
Fire.
they came,
For the fire.
is that what it is?
Department, not.
Oh, the fire department,
We get city shirts from Prince Charming.
that's what I thought, and then I saw them on there, so I didn't know if we'd switched or what.
City shirts, so is there like swag that we can sign?
I'm sure we could swing.
Oh, this one. Any other questions on finance? All right, next, police department report.
Good evening, Mayor. Chaplain. I'd like to submit my report as written and answer any questions you may have. And then regarding the top paragraph, calendar the heroes, we've Councilmember McElmurray actually has the numbers that I didn't have, so if anybody's interested in those, they cast those numbers.
Myrtle Creek came in at $7,084 total, with a match from Grocery Outlet, which was $4,343. The police department was $476, and the fire department was $538.
And so were we the top,
Yes, you came in as the top, you beat Winston by $691. So you should be getting some sort of certificate and award.
well, bragging rights is better than any of that. She's already stuff.
And Chief started a heads up that they had been bumped out of the running.
Good.
Well, they had a couple different locations, or they just do everything in Carlos's.
I think they did everything at Carlos's from Winston. Yeah, so thanks to Angie, she was great donation. So I believe that people come in to try to help them get their numbers to the top every year they're at Winston. So,
That's.
Nothing wrong with competition.
No.
And that's what makes that event a lot of fun, is the bragging rights between the departments.
Yeah, good, you can't talk about the robbery. So,
Nothing other than what's in my presentation, so.
Any other questions for the chief? Fire department reports.
Submit that one.
Yeah.
Good evening, would like to submit the fire department report. As written.
I don't think you would know if there's an elected.
Matt talked about last time, not realizing it's September yet.
Is that the month?
Yeah.
So 9 so far this year. And then
Sorry, just one.
So is it okay to burn now this month?
Yes.
Yeah,
When did that start?
the 10.
Yep. You haven't seen my smoke?
Yeah.
See my neighbors in my house. That's why I was wondering.
Got away from me.
Oh,
Do they?
That means not.
Oops.
That's right.
One of the sections.
You didn't fall under the natural dumpster fire, so we're good.
That's good to learn. When it's not.
All right, public works report.
Good evening, council, mayor. I'd like to submit the public works report in as written. You guys have any questions?
You paid the St. Paul Mill Street, didn't cost $160,000, did it?
No, it costs, I think, $4,500.
Zach, are you going to bring back the lead program this fall or you wait?
No, it'll start November, the first
Fifth.
Wednesday in November, and we'll do it every Wednesday each week.
I apologize for not forwarding that to you.
What is that for?
Please pick up.
Can you just put me on, please?
Would be, you have to call and she'll put it on, put you guys on.
I got her number.
All right, you guys looking for Zach? All right, regular agenda items. First is from Mr. Warrior.
Is this on there?
Yes, that's next.
I guess it's probably not on.
No, it should be. Let me get this. What? Is it not gonna let me show it on this?
Diary.
Account?
We have one
Yeah, I think
here.
the fountain doesn't know. Just kidding. I'll just joke.
Okay, give me just a second. I will sign in under mine. Even the best planning, and I still am like scrambling at me. It's in my purse. Oh. Dang, dual authentication. We're supposed to have all of the office suite on this training laptop. That'll
This
be
is just
another.
something you haven't opened yet.
I've used it, that's it. I can't even blame the Windows 11 update on this one because I don't think this one's been updated. Thank you, Chrissy. Oh.
I would say it's too late.
I- No, 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 no.
Ask to reset the code, yeah.
Only just open up this one, please. Oh. Okay, I apologize, everybody. I'm gonna,
That's okay, John.
let's close this one. Let's. Where is the switch users? Here we go.
That's what I find, it just keeps me out. I don't want to keep anybody else out.
Right?
It keeps me out.
But I was going through this the other night with trying to submit my schoolwork right at the almost midnight.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the system goes down. And I was like, oh, did I do something wrong? What happened? Guess I will submit this assignment on time. And then I found out. yes,
AWS, yeah.
everything.
My grandson's got hit with a
Okay.
chair.
There we go.
Hmm.
No, I don't want to open Teams.
Something on the screen behind us.
There we go. I was gonna be like, not that too. So if I do.
But up on the very top,
Should be presented.
yeah, at the very top of it,
Very, very tough. Very, very.
there's the top purple save button. Go over a couple more.
Yeah, that one there.
Right.
Nice. Thank you for your assistance.
So as some of you all, or most of you all know, I'm Leah with Whiskered Warriors. We are a local TNR group that began in February. It's been 8.5 months since we came to be. We answered the call from attending some meetings about the feral cat issue, what was going on. The public was asked for a solution. We came up with TNR. So today, we would like to formally request another $1,500. And here's why. So with TNR, TNR stands for trap, neuter, and return. We're going out, we're mainly trapping these cats. We're taking them in, we're getting them fixed, vaccinated, and having their tops are ready to go to the. What this is doing is it's stopping the breeding cycle. It's allowing the colonies to dwindle down and reduce over time. And then it's allowing the cats to be healthier. It's stopping the nuisance behaviors. And it's also relieving a lot of extra stress on the local shelters and rescues. So as many of you know, the feral cats, they're exploding right now. Thankfully, we're heading into winter, so we're gonna see a decline. Not as many females are gonna be going into heat as we start getting colder. The one image on the side, that is just what one female cat can produce within 17 months. Between her and her offspring, it just explodes in less than 2 years. Females can have upwards of 3 to 4 litters a year, and each litter can be anywhere from 3 to 5 kittens on the small side. The male cats, when they smell the females starting to go into heat, they'll travel for miles. They will start to fight over the females, over the food, over the territory. And a lot of them right now have been really sick. So they're spreading these diseases. So currently, we have TNR 208 cats since February. So we're averaging about 24 to 25 cats a month. Several of our colonies we have marked as complete. we've gotten, I'd say about 99% of the cats fixed. So there's been no new babies. We've had local residents stopping us to tell us that they're seeing a difference in these feral colonies. All of our volunteers have donated so much time and a lot of our own money to keep the cats getting spayed and neutered, to make it to the appointments. We're traveling a lot of miles at times. So currently today, this is where we're sitting. I've been keeping track of not just spay versus neuter, but with the spays, whether the female was indeed, whether she was already pregnant, how far along in her pregnancy was she? For a lot of people, that's a hard topic of finding out that a cat was pregnant. And a lot of times when we go to pick up a trapped pregnant female, the homeowner's like, well, wait, what are you gonna do with her? You're gonna let her have her babies, right? Unfortunately, no. I used to be that person. That's how I got into this. 8 years ago with the SPCA, I would end up keeping the feral females that were pregnant, having the babies, and then getting them into the SPCA to be adopted out. But it's a lot more work. And I've come to the realization that the aborting of a few is better in the long run for the overall colony. Recently, about 6 weeks ago, I took in a feral female. She had 6 babies. So in 6 weeks, I'm down to 2 babies. Because mom was sick. Her illness then passed on to the babies. She's now healthy and the babies are continuously dying. I had 3 die on me in less than 24 hours. So while it's heartbreaking, getting them in to get them spayed and vaccinated gives the colony and those cats a better overall chance because they're not spreading that disease. Which is allowing us to work hand in hand a lot with Saving
Was that
Grace.
too soon?
No,
You're good.
This is the map that Saving Grace has sent me. From all of the contacts that people have reached out to them. The blue dots are where people who have brought them sick and injured cats to surrender to them for help. That's the markings of all of those. They've taken in 110 cats over the last year while they have been on a lockdown for no new intakes. The yellow markers are people who have submitted the waiting list request, and the green ones are active colonies. The next map is our current map. I'm still adding more people to it because I'm constantly having people reach out and asking for help. But with just those few markers that you see there, we're looking at approximately 175 cats that are still needing to be trapped. Currently, as of yet, between last year, when we first started at the beginning of this year, and the first quarter of this year, this is where we're sitting. This year, with the donation that you guys gave us, we were able to cover 25 cats.
Oh, sorry.
Go back, there you go. With, if you grant us another 1,500, that will cover at least 25 spay and neuters. That's doing it at the $60 rate from Saving Grace. We've been getting surgeries as far as talent, and we're also now going up to OSU for surgeries. To the vet school there. We're covering all of the gaps. We just need help with the appointments. This is just through December of what our current schedule looks like of all of the different places that we're going, the scheduled appointments. Right now with Saving Grace, on the big clinic days, we're taking in 20. Throughout the month, I will get a phone call at the end of the month, or typically about 5 o'clock. And she'll say, hey, I need 8 cats tomorrow. Can you do it? And I put my homework aside and I go out to trap cats
From Saving Grace,
for Saving Grace, yeah.
do they give you a discount for doing that? For asking.
Not really, not on those late minute ones. There are times where certain people will, the elderly people will reach out and say, hey, I've got this huge colony, I need help. And so then Saving Grace will reach out to us and be like, hey, we've got a colony of 30. We will cover 25 of them if you will pay for 5. And so we've started working out little deals like that. So I just kind of wanted to give you a glimpse of what we're looking at so far. I know the one that's not on there is, I actually heard from Saving Grace just about an hour before I got here tonight for Thursday of possibly needing to trap 8 cats for Thursday. So with your support, with what we're doing, people in town are recognizing us. They're recognizing that you guys are also helping us. I've had so many people stop me, not only here in town, but also up in Roseburg, mentioning the differences that they're seeing in some of these feral colonies. Mentioning just seeing us out trapping and returning cats. People will stop and be like, hey, what are you doing? Wait, can I watch? Does it really work like that? How do you do it? And so it allows that conversation to begin, and they get to see the parts and pieces to understand why it's so important to get their animals spayed and neutered. This image here is one of our favorites. This cat was trapped at Saving Grace, or excuse me, he was trapped at Ray's. And after being with us for a while, having several of his teeth pulled, Saving Grace had said that he was too injured to be re-released. He could not go back to the colony. So we found him a great home. He is an inside cat now and absolutely loves life. He was hit by a car and had a broken hip that fused incorrectly. Found surgical to be able to be fixed. So they're just like, he needs a life of luxury. So, anyways, I want to thank you guys for giving me the time. Not only that, but also I want to thank all of you who were able to make it to the spaghetti feed. That was a huge success for us. We had, I want to say, almost 70 people come to the spaghetti feed and support us, and we're working on coming up with additional type dinner ideas or desserts or different community things that we can put on to continue to raise funds. We've got different avenues that we are raising funds with, yard sales and craft fairs and things like that. So it's just to get through some of these next appointments, we would love to have your continued support.
Has Whisker Warriors started funding spay and neuters for privately owned cats and dogs, such as cats and dogs?
Not dogs. We don't fund them for private owned. The OSU are for friendly cats. So we are taking those up. We are paying the fuel for them, but also asking the homeowners for those cats if they will chip in for the fuel. Because a lot of the elderly people that have reached out to us about their household cats can't afford $600. I had one lady who went up here in town and was quoted almost $700 for her cat
Had it spayed?
to get it spayed.
Is in the March meeting, when you started asking for money, we started giving money. That was one of the things that you said was gonna happen. Is you're gonna start funding the private dogs, cats and dogs. And that's not happening.
No, not yet, because we're barely staying afloat with doing the ferals. The OSU program was a great opportunity for the 3rd-year students at the school to be able to learn how to do surgeries. And so when I heard of that, I was like, well, we've got several people who have household pets who need their cats spayed. This would be a great opportunity for them because they can't afford to go into the local clinics. Saving Grace won't allow us to bring the female friendly cats in as ferals. So it's if you go in and get your cat their rabies shot, we will transport it to OSU. Then they're gone for 3 days, they come home well taken care of. And that stops the population from that. At some point, we would like to get to that same convergence. We're not.
And that was part of my reason for giving this amount of money was because you guys were gonna go into the private and was going cats and dogs. And that's what I'm just asking to happen. That's not happening, but we're still getting money.
That's a fence.
Mhm.
And it might happen someday, but it's pretty much just.
Our
on the
hope is
wish
that we
list.
can do dogs too, but there's rules that Oregon has that doesn't allow us to do that. We can't even house these feral cats because there's no facility that is accepted from the state. We trap them, move them. Now, we do help seniors and veterans transport and help pay for their space seniors that can't get out to towns. And we do that to help the community that cannot do it on their own.
Yeah, but I'm talking about funding for the spay and neuter. We were told that was gonna happen for the private person instead of just feral cats. That's what I'm asking. So that's not happening.
I'm gonna
Is
make a
that
motion.
insured?
Huh?
Yeah, we are.
Or,
No, I just wanted to know where that was done, that was tied into the money.
I was
March.
gonna make a motion that we approve another 1,500 for Western Warriors.
Yeah, I know. I definitely will say no. The reasons are this group is highly organized in a tiny little rural community addressing multiple issues. You know, the numbers of just regular strays, stopping the population growth, helping owners who can't afford to pay the cost.
These aren't numbers.
And on top of that, the cost of gas that they're having to.
they're
They're
doing,
not paying for homes.
the money that we're giving them is specifically just for the spay and neuter for the.
Oh, it's just for
For the,
Oh,
for the,
The talent,
Yeah.
we do get friendly appointments for in talent. Which are household pets, not ferals. If they come in as a feral, they call us immediately. And we're in trouble with them, and we can lose not going to them anymore. So we are doing some house pets for in talent and at OSU. Just not a whole lot yet. We're trying to find those vets where they're not gonna charge us $700 per cat because we can't afford it. To pay that much for one single cat, that's why so many people, when they have these cats that are going in heat, they're throwing them outside. The cat has babies outside, which now has a first generation of soon to be ferals. And it continues to snowball from there.
As a general rule, cats are all considered feral. They are not considered property like dogs. Isn't that correct? Dogs you can license and we deal with.
Yeah, there's some language like that's why we don't do, like, you can't say something under a cat being at the bar. I don't know off the top of my head the specific language.
Yeah, well, I've been dealing with animals for a long time. I'm the volunteer treasurer for the Public Humane Society. And anytime you want to look at the bills, if
Oh, I'm
you
not,
don't believe the cost.
I'm not debating that.
Yeah,
I'm
and
saying-
it's gone up since COVID and it hasn't come down. And what they're doing is hard,
I'm sure it
you know,
is.
writing the check is easy. It's
We're a
catching the
city.
cats.
I got it.
It's working the cats. It's a community problem. The cats didn't get there all by themselves. The people that pay the taxes, they had something to do with them
What's the difference?
and their existence.
Go ahead, Bob.
Expense for private and going to talent versus saving grace other than.
I'm talking about.
can you
So
repeat
for
that question?
What's the difference between the cost from talent and OSU versus saving grace other than fuel? Because saving grace is feral and talent and OSU are friendly cats.
So talent does both friendly and feral. Both are on the wait list. So right now we're on the wait list with talent for the friendlies. Friendlies typically run about $60 to $80 through them. OSU, the cost is only fuel. Because it is a teaching college and it's the third year students performing the surgery, it is completely free.
But we have to make them go have rabies shots
Yes.
that we pay for, or the owner pays for. Because they won't accept them without a rabies shot. They're also the team caps from Allen are 125.
Oh, thank you.
Where are you getting the rabies shot? What are the costs for those? that you're
So-
incurring?
With rabies shots, if you go through Petco, it is now $47. That goes through Petco, they have a vet who comes down once a week to do preventative care. Saving Grace has started doing their low cost vaccination clinics, which is held on this last weekend, where it was $15 for the rabies shot. So all 4 cats that I took to OSU yesterday, I took in on Sunday and we got their rabies shots done so that they were able to go in to get spayed today.
So it's a cost. We got to gather all these cats from different places, take them up there, get their shot, bring them back. And then on their year of appointment before, we have to do them all again and take them up.
And
It's
then
a
there's criteria for a private resident to currently do that, they have to be a senior and a vet. Is there any
no,
age?
that's just for the ones who are doing in town.
Okay. And being. What's that question?
Let me try. Okay, so if you do get on the list for town, we're doing, for instance, you said it's $125. Is it your plan to charge that to the person, or wherever you're getting that
If they
from?
can help pay, then we will.
Or subsidize it somehow?
We ask if they will, for the spay alone, we ask if they will help. If they want to have any of the add-ons, so the flea meds, the vaccinations, the rabies, all of that, that we ask them to pay for the add-ons. But if they can help us cover the cost, the whatever amount of the spay alone,
We pay them.
yeah,
And at this point, the funding that the city is providing is only used for the ferals
yes,
and only from those ferals that are trapped within the city limits.
yes.
How are you advertising to the private people? Or is it just like word of mouth?
Yes.
I mean,
It is,
obviously.
it is by word of mouth and on Facebook. Yeah. And there's been a lot of calls of people who've been like, hey, so I heard from my friend that you helped her mom. And you helped her mom's friends. And so we're getting out there, we're getting people who are calling even from the out of area. And all those people is, unfortunately, at this time, we are working within Myrtle Creek, within the city limits. We're not expanding out yet. We're not at that point, we haven't grown enough.
And how many of the people that you have helped cover the cost of their?
So. Half the team ones probably help as much as they can.
And then for fundraising, you have private donors who did the spaghetti feed. And your personal donations.
We have also a yard sale that we've done several different low yard sales, and we have a long-term one going on right now. And we will be at the Fall Craft Fair coming up in November in Lewisburg. And we did the Summer Festival and also a craft fair there at Tractor Supply.
How much did you raise for this?
I wanna say we were right at 1,100.
I just wanted to say that for a spaghetti dinner, that was high class. Maybe you could have more functions. I was really impressed, and the bread was fantastic.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
How many other cities are helping pay for programs? Myrtle Creek the only one?
Myrtle Creek is the only one. Each city has, so there are several different TNR groups within Douglas County. And we've all kind of got separate areas of the county that we're doing. So we're down here, no one is doing Canyonville. There's a new couple of ladies that are starting one in Glendale and Azalea. There's one in Winston, and then there's one or two in Roseburg. And so we're trying to each allow each other to have their own territory and stay within our own areas.
But none of the other cities are funded.
I know Winston has done a few for FCAT. They've done fundraisers and things like that to help give her money for in her area. But I don't know. None of the cities are helping us.
And the county donates or allocates money for saving grace.
I believe so. I know Saving Grace has a general, the way she explained it to me the other day is they have a general pool of money to where they can go in and they can say, okay, we've brought 20 cats in this appointment, so the next appointment, 10 of them, don't worry about paying.
Yeah, the county is contracted with Saving Grace because it's the only animal shelter. So they have to have a place to pay them because the county is obligated to deal with animals. So they allocate a certain amount of money to the shelter.
Any other questions?
It's kind of like the dump home, the garbage they take to the shelter has a face. That's all of that.
Any other questions for our vote?
I think just discussion is, I wish everybody would go back and listen to the March meeting and July meeting, and we've already given a lot more than what we intend to, and we still got quarters left out there if we ask for money. I think this will be $6,000 right here, and that's what they originally asked for, and they're gonna more money next quarter, the next quarter, they go into the next year. And that's not what we discussed in the city council, and that's not the money that we discussed. That's my whole thing. I agree that we can give more, but I think giving another $1,500 now, too much. And then they're gonna ask for $1,500 in March and then with the fiscal year, and that'd be $9,000.
No, I feel like that falls in line with what was
That's
communicated.
what I thought, that we gave, that you asked for 6,000 and we decided to divvy it up into quarters. So I don't think we're at.
Yeah, that's what I did mine.
Go back and read it or listen to it. Yeah, we gave 3,000 and then said we're gonna put it on
Oh,
this
last budget.
the last budget,
Yeah,
but it was not.
and then we talked about
$6,000
possibly,
was just a placeholder.
right, we
We
talked
go
about,
from quarter to quarter.
we talked about putting placeholder of $6,000 on this budget.
Mhm.
Budget.
Mhm.
And so far, we have given one.
Right, but we didn't say we're giving $6,000.
We did.
Specifically discussed, but that's not what's gonna happen. I just listened to it again today, I'm telling you, but I mean, I know. It's a good program, but I don't think we need to be given 3,000 before and then 6,000 next year, total of $9,000. No other city's helping. Myrtle Creek's only one. I just have concerns that people are dumping cats in the
So
city.
it's just
They don't work
because
it for it.
cities aren't helping, it doesn't mean that Myrtle Creek shouldn't help. Or that those cities are okay in not helping. Their communities might appreciate their council helping somehow. Because like I said, it is a community problem and they're doing the hard work.
Yes, they
And that amount of money is a fraction in what governments spend on other things.
If they weren't such a,
And we got, the city of Myrtle Creek still has a lot of FEMA money that FEMA didn't cover that we're gonna have to cover from the flood. We had a problem with dispatch fees that were coming up with money that we didn't anticipate. $70,000 for radio. Anticipate there's a lot of money going out and I just don't think we can continue giving.
I think that that's been my biggest concern is like, with expenses still coming in to cover the cost of what happened with the flood. Where are we? You know, what, do we have?
It's
money
stated
to cover?
on, well, that's not the topic right now.
No.
Well, that is,
well,
it's
it
money.
has-
Well,
They keep
it's-
giving money that,
Yeah, I mean, if
We're
Rick
good
is
for-
concerned
we're
about
good
we
for
don't
to
have
catch up
enough
to us.
money. I feel like this group is so special because they're so highly organized and professional. And I feel like if there's that much of a concern, maybe we should put a cap on 6,000 and then have it divvied out quarterly, like I was under the impression that we were supposed to have.
And the way a community treats its animals is a direct reflection on the way it treats the people
I'm
in the
just
community
telling
as well.
you, and after we vote tonight, we can vote, but I encourage you to go back and pull up the meetings and listen to what was discussed. So that's, I'm done.
Is the 1,500 that she's asking for within the amount that we budgeted for this year?
It was a placeholder.
We put in place, we didn't put on
We
the
didn't
budget,
put-
we were gonna be giving $6,000 for warriors, we had put on the budget $6,000.
And we're gonna discuss
Discuss
it.
possible, and then we just made a decision to discuss it quarterly. So we gave him. Last meeting, we talked about, okay, we'll just, I think we're going to give him 3,000. I think I'm the one who suggested 1,500 to start out quarterly. And
So we
that's-
budgeted
so we've only
6,000,
given
we
it,
dispersed 1,500.
that's
We
it,
budgeted up to
6,000,
6,000 and we've spent 1,500.
correct,
Yeah.
that's all we're at.
And we're in this second.
Yeah,
So that's-
This would be the second payment, that we would give up that 6,000.
But the discussion was, it wasn't much, and it specifically says, that we're not, the $6,000 isn't what we're giving to the I think I'm find it up right here on my phone. I agree, it's a good program, but as a city council, we can't just, stick with stuff.
I think it's something that the community is interested in. I saw how many people showed up when we started talking about cats and chickens. So me representing the city and people in it, I think that that's something that they would want me to support.
You know, on the $6,000, council clarified that this was just to bring the request into the budget discussion and was not a guarantee for the amount. And we discussed that, and we also discussed it to the budget committee, and that's what I'm saying, I just. To give them the max, it's not what, at least wasn't my intent. And then with all these extra added monies that are coming in that we're spending. $1,500 is appropriate.
If I may, right now, we're playing catch up from spring because of all the spring babies. They are now coming of age to start having their own babies. So with all of these appointments that we've got coming up, it's to try to get a hold of those. So come next spring, we're not looking at double the number of cats or triple the number of cats.
Next what?
Spring.
Next spring.
Come spring. Because with even the ones that are having babies right now, come January and February, they can start having their own babies. And it's just going to snowball on the city again to where they're.
It's not a city problem completely. I mean, it's like she says, it's a community problem, but the city of Myrtle Creek is the only one that's given. And at this rate, that'd be $9,000. And then the next budget cycle, I'm assuming you're gonna ask for another $6,000.
Maybe we can get other cities on board.
That'd be nice.
Well, what we could do
Maybe
is,
you could influence other members to go to their city council
They
and
have.
ask for help.
Yeah, because we have people calling us from Days Creek, Cannonville, Glendale, wanting to help, begging for help, and we don't go to your city council and ask them to come on.
We have had a couple of people go to the Canyonville City Council to ask for us to come to Canyonville and get them to support and pay, which then would be paying for just Canyonville cats.
So
I just feel like.
Are they receptive to that?
From what I've been told, their city council was, we just haven't had a chance to have enough time to be able to
so the money from the city is restricted for
city.
cats
inmates.
from Myrtle Creek.
Not just.
So
Myrtle
therefore
Creek,
it
but
wouldn't be-
Myrtle Creek.
that would be the
Creek.
agreement that we made with them.
Yeah.
To support cats from Myrtle Creek to be spayed or neutered. Okay.
I just don't,
Chief has a question.
Yes.
So, are you able to bring back up your map?
Oh.
Oh, you would ask that.
Maybe.
Good job.
Right? That was like impressive. I even like
Representation is-
startled myself.
That's
Yes.
that. So the black box, I drew on the map because there is no online map that I can get my hands on that show the lines of city limits. So I had to open up a map showing me the lines and I had to go in and manually draw the lines on this map,
So you had a previous map,
the saving grace map.
okay,
Was that on here?
the reason I just asked my question was, so that map,
Yes.
can you go back to that map?
That one.
Yeah.
See,
Okay,
all that progress
So
I
the
made.
reason I just had the question asked for the map because the council's talking about, this money was only for the city limits of Myrtle Creek, and I was noticing a lot of those dots are outside the city limits of Myrtle Creek. So that was just my question is, were you considering that the city limits of Myrtle Creek, or is it the
No,
the
this
previous
is,
map?
this is the exact map that Saving Grace emailed me from their system. The other map is the one that I created for just within city limits.
Yeah, this is probably just the 5/7.
Okay, well, Davey, that clarified my curiosity, because I had seen this one earlier and knew a lot of everything south of Ray's Food Place.
Yes,
Was outside the city.
which if you go down one, that one, you can see where Ray's is because the city limit line ends right there at that second driveway where Tri-City ends, right? So that's why I had that cutoff point right there.
Well, it does, except for the road that goes out to Red.
Yeah. And the airport, there's a couple of little random pockets,
That
but
clarified it, thank you.
you're welcome.
I just don't think you should, look at different portions of the mouth and, I really feel like, this is a huge health issue, number one. It's one that can get away from the city really quickly. I would like to know, once again, with the flood, if that's an issue, how much flexibility we have, and if there's a problem with the $6,000 or the distribution per quarter, we can figure that out.
Well, I was gonna say is, I wanna acknowledge what you're talking about, your issue and all kinds of stuff, maybe that creates an agenda item that we can have. Where we can sit and kind of talk.
I just think the more we give, the more Riddle, Tri-City are dumping their cats into our city because they know we're paying for it and it's not gonna stop.
I don't feel like that anybody's a big
I
deal.
mean, it's kind of hard to catch, but that's what I'm talking about. It's that the cats don't get there by themselves. And
It's a weird
it's a community problem, and it takes a community to fix it. And, at least try to do something.
I would suggest a low amount, but I'm not on board with getting 1,500, 1,500, 1,500, 1,500 on top of 3,000 we probably get. I'm not
What would you be comfortable?
500, 500, 500. It'd be a total of $6,000, which on the March meeting, they asked for $6,000. And I would be good at giving them $6,000. 3,000 gave in March and 3,000 this fiscal year.
So 500 would do approximately 8 cats.
Well, I don't know.
And then if you have 8 more that you didn't do, that have litters of 4 or 5, it's the numbers. It's a penalty scheme.
Yeah, numbers are terrible, but so are budget numbers, so are what we're doing
What
here.
we're trying to do with the 1,500 is ideally get down to where they only need 500, because there's not that many cats that need spayed and neutered anymore. Because they've gotten the lion's share of it under control between Saving Grace and Whisper Warriors, and like I keep saying, they're doing hard work.
So
They're the
is
ones
this-
out there in all kinds of weather trapping and maybe get them bit, or, it's not a fun job.
No, it's not, but it's a volunteer job, what's the definition of volunteer, if you don't ask for one, you didn't volunteer.
No, you don't, but you're.
Because so if you say this is the big time of year, so are you assuming, when it comes to the January quarter and the March quarter, you're not gonna be asking for 1,500 again?
I would like to say that come March time and come towards summertime, we won't be needing to ask for money because appointments slow down. We saw this summer, we had maybe 2 appointments all summer long. And that was begging and pleading for appointments. because they don't hardly do any appointments because it's high kitten season. So with this still being our first year, we're still learning how the curves go with the seasons with the cats and how often we can get into the vets. We were on the wait list for talent for these 3 appointments that we just got. We've been on the wait list for those 3 appointments for 4 months. And we've been on the friendly wait list with them for also 4 months and we still haven't heard anything. So a lot of it is playing that waiting game. The next step is going to be looking for places in Redmond or Bend or Portland that we can get into to try to lower the costs and make it to where we're not asking you as much. We don't want to have to come ask for funds, but we also banned it this year because there was the issue with the feral cats and everybody asked for a solution. This was the solution that we came up with and banded together. We didn't have to do it. We did it for the cats. We did it for the city. So now, as we're getting known, more people are starting to donate, more people are starting to fund and sponsor cats. The pharmacy has a donation jar. At the beginning of this month, they paid for 2 cats to get spayed. So we've got private people who are reaching out saying, I want to sponsor, and businesses that are now starting to come up with ways to where they can sponsor. So we're not just coming to you and relying on your help and your funds to do this. And I would like to hope that come springtime and this time next year, we can come in and tell you guys what we're doing and not ask you for a thing. Just come in to let you know where we're at.
I would appreciate that, because it was 3 months ago that you got your payment, and we knew at the time, at least I knew that we had to get on top of this thing, and so that's why I feel like we can't just stop, at least not right now, and I would, welcome, I know you're really organized, so I know you could give us figures on, the bell curve or whatever, so.
And I helped at the Testicle Festival out there at Saving Grace, and we did almost 100 male cats. And nothing leaves Saving Grace anymore without being spayed or neutered. They used to, when the county had it, they adopted and expected people to bring the animals back, and oftentimes it didn't happen. So as a community, we're, hoping to be chipping away and doing something about the problem. And sadly, because people are involved, it takes time.
And I agree with that, I'm saying you do a great job, but I think that's more of a private issue, it's more people that want to donate and will help that instead of the city. Taxes paying for $9,000. So I mean, if you guys if you vote to give the 1,500, that would be a total of the 6,000 that you originally asked for in March. But then what I'm asking is, in January, you come back and ask for another 1,500. And then another 1,500, I mean, how many times that can happen? I know you don't know the answer to that, but that's my question, city council member, that's my concern. Is that it's gonna be continually,
And
we're not giving this kind of money to any other organization.
the end game is to not have to spend that much, not have as many that need spayed and neutered. Have people step up that want to donate or find more fundraisers. It's not something they want to do.
To me, it's pretty disgusting, when you see so many cats and kittens and, a lot of diseased, a lot of injured, and they're like rats, I mean for people who love cats, I just mean their ability to multiply and carry disease.
Well, and that's the thing that's really hard to deal with, is when the people that are irresponsible allow that to happen, and then people like that end up having to deal with that when they die. Because people have been irresponsible.
The one good thing also is with these appointments with ferals, they are getting a rabies shot, they are getting their FRBCP vaccination. So then when they go out, should they get into a fight and they bite another cat, they're not going to infect another cat. The more that they're left unvaccinated and unfixed, the more the disease is spread, which then, as people are letting their house cats out, they get into a fight with the feral cat. Well, now that house cat is gonna be sick and track other diseases in to infect the rest of the household because these feral cats are out there not vaccinated.
I think we're ready to move to vote. Any discussion? Okay. All right, all in favor, aye,
Aye.
opposed, nay. Motion. Thank you. Appreciate that.
And Saving Grace did say, that if you would like, she would be happy to come down and do another talk with you guys. So she can say from their side of things with the feral cats and with TNR and having groups like us means for them. So if that's something you guys would like, I'm happy to let her know. So
Yeah,
she-
we've talked to Dave came in and talked to us before.
Yeah, they came in the very first time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, 7.2 award of water treatment plant expansion construction contract.
So we're gonna have to table that till next meeting. So there was a dispute between the winner and number two. I guess the winner forgot to check a box about his criminal background or something. It was all notarized and everything was good. But they say it's an informal discrepancy and it shouldn't be a big deal. But I think we should wait until that's all cleared up and we're done before we get too far into
On
it.
the bid process.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think right now currently Tyler with Dyer is working on that, getting that all straightened out.
Okay, that just come up today.
That came up this afternoon at like, what, 3 o'clock, I think?
Okay,
So the second place person's contested and then.
Yep, that he is disputing the winner because he failed to check a box.
About his criminal.
But yeah, I don't remember what it exactly was about. It was about something, the whole page had to be notarized, but he failed to check a box.
This is an open bid or a closed bid?
closed, I think.
It was closed bid. The number two called and got, or did a records request to get the number one winner. I don't know why, so he can compare notes.
How much money difference was it?
Like 10,000.
10,000.
No, it was 8,000.
8,000.
8,000 for the bid.
Little.
Not very much for that day of the contract.
There's such a discrepancy in the amount of the grant written and the actual cost for the project, like we wrote a grant for twice the
Oh,
amount of the
that's-
project.
That's not the whole.
This
There's
is
a lot more
just
money.
construction.
That is, okay. I wasn't sure if there was
Phase
more
one.
to come,
Phase one, phase
Oh,
two.
yeah.
and since I wasn't here for the first part, I was curious.
Yeah,
This says there was
the
one.
ground cover a lot more than this is. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dyer's engineering.
All right,
too.
You guys want to still want to have discussion over this, or you guys want to move on?
Yeah.
All right, so let's bring this up next, council. All right, 7.3 Umpqua Golf Management Contract Cancellation.
Yes, it's been very fun. So we got a letter yesterday afternoon, at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, was it yesterday?
Friday.
Friday,
Feels like yesterday.
stating that they no longer want to participate. I'm sure it was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
What?
We got
No,
this.
because we put it into the packet on Friday and sent the amended packet out on Friday.
They said they made a time out yesterday.
Oh, that's right, to make the 24 hours. Oh, my gosh. I told you, it's been a week.
First it was what, November?
That is, we had to do because 24 hours. That is,
So we gathered up all of the information, we got it off to the lawyer to make sure everything's good. I'm gonna try to contact the guy, because last year when the contract was signed, we wrote off everything except for the buildings and the land to them, all of the mowers, tractors, everything, so I don't know.
I was not in favor of that at all.
Yeah, I don't even remember that, so I don't know how that was.
I was a audience member and I was surprised that that was
Yeah,
that
so
occurred.
basically, if they
I don't-
leave, I think they're allowed to take all that with them. And then
That's
we
the way it's
will,
written,
we
yeah.
will not have any way of taking care of it. I think all the way down to the TVs, the monitors, the cook stoves and fridges out of the pro shop. All of the hand tools out of the maintenance shop, everything is theirs, if I'm reading the contract correctly. And that will leave us with literally no tools to keep that as a golf course.
Because it should have been to be used at the golf course and not the golf course. if
Yeah.
There was any kind of.
Because
cancellation.
a lot of those mowers are very expensive and we don't have the money budgeted to replace them right now.
So. you
What if
could
they realize,
investigate
do they
or-
realize, like? How did that even come up? It's an option.
It was in the original contract in 2022. I don't know whose idea it was. And then in 2023, we signed the bill of sale when they renewed.
In 2023.
Yes.
And we're going into 2026, so they honor this for.
It's
What,
good
2.5
through
years now? Now they want
2028.
now.
Yeah, there was a caveat in there, if I remember correctly, there was a caveat, they had to manage it for so long. Before that became their property, I thought there was that caveat. in it.
At the renewal.
Yeah.
and
This is an
somebody-
early termination of their lease.
It was supposed to go to 2028.
So
So
it's
it
an
could be
early,
possible that we retain that equipment.
I hope.
yeah, somebody needs to read through the contract really well and. Maybe make sure that going forward it's different.
So and they said they're planning on shutting down like next August, basically.
No.
No, that's just for the winter, and then they're gonna come back in March.
180 days, yeah.
That's when they start the 180 days in March.
Okay.
So they'll run all spring.
No, it's 180 days starts now.
Yes.
If I'm mistaken, yeah, 180 days starts right now, that's the date of that
It
letter.
says we will reopen the course on the 1st of March 26th and operate until the conclusion of the.
180 days from today.
From today.
Yeah,
Shoot, that's not, do they wanna run much then?
yeah.
No. And it-
I mean,
and
if it
it-
was like last year, they opened up most of that last winter, and then they said they were going to close, but I don't know if they'll do that again.
Well, we need to find out
Yeah.
and
cause that, I mean,
try to
cause
secure the equipment to stay with the golf course.
that time of year, the grass is gonna be growing good. We're gonna be needing to get rid of our effluent water on the golf course and there's just a lot of things that,
It's more money.
yeah.
They listed several things that needed repaired out there. Was that not part of their contract to maintain and repair?
I believe when I was reading the contract, it says that that was all their responsibility for all the maintenance and upkeep of pretty much everything. If
So the
I,
paths and everything that they're saying are in disarray that nobody wants to use it for, was their responsibility to repair in the first place?
I believe so.
Yes.
Well, so hold on, you're saying that they were responsible for the $2 million repair of the irrigation system?
It says in that contract they signed that in number 8, that they were responsible for the maintenance and care of everything.
But we would replace or reimburse for the sprinkler irrigation
Yes.
equip or
Yes.
materials.
Up to $5,000 a year, we would give them back for maintenance.
Okay. Yes, Susan.
Cause I was on council then, I thought. If I'm remembering right, they would have use of that equipment. And take care of it, but it stayed with the golf course.
Yeah, that was my understanding too.
Yeah, so that's
Like,
right.
you're saying that's not what,
But that wasn't what came forward, when Lonnie brought that contract forward last year, and they were talking about it. They were saying that they wanted to close it down for the winter, or an abbreviated schedule for the winter. And they wanted to rewrite it, that equipment was going to revert to them. It's like, no, this is not right.
That's how it was in the 2020 contract, that at the renewal, all of that would go to them.
And must have missed that, something wasn't brought to our attention or something.
Well, we don't have the contract to really beat it up effectively right now,
The attorney, we did send it to our attorney.
just today.
And when was it?
Yeah.
When that signed?
So by next meeting, you'll have
Just signed it.
a better idea of what
Yeah.
the situation
I think that
is.
one was an 8-year contract. Was it on the top of the front page?
July 3rd,
2023.
That's the renewal.
I can't imagine them doing that to us.
I would hope not.
I know the golf carts are broke. I mean, they bought all the rented golf cars at that time that we owned are long gone and used up.
I'm sure they're
They all
well.
lost their equipment and stuff.
Yeah, we'll get that figured out. That's important.
Yeah,
I mean, you'll call them, I'll probably
Was,
call them first thing in the morning when I see them.
it's to see if they actually intend to take all of that, or if they're, if that was just in the contract, or what their plan was with all the equipment.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to reread this, get clarification on their responsibility for the upkeep.
And I believe Joanna may have it all digital. Would you guys like to see?
Yes.
Put it in the Dropbox?
Yes.
This is
Good
probably
idea.
one of the meetings that I don't know we discussed.
It'll take us a second, it's just a move of light.
Yeah.
In September, October.
Yeah.
Exactly, and they never did.
Well, that's because they.
They were planning on this.
I don't think we've ever, and it seems like we asked for their financials, because we're coming up on that time, and as soon as,
Contract too,
basically,
shows
this is what they hit us.
Yeah, we got more finance needs too.
Yeah, we haven't seen any of their financials since any of this contract's been signed.
Yeah, well, that's in the contract.
Yes.
But I think we now, even though they want to terminate, we now request that we need to see this.
And I believe Joanna has requested it again after we asked for it, they sent us this, and then we asked for it again after this.
And Scott said he would be in the office tomorrow and he would touch base with us.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, cause I mean, that's why I want to redo it, cause typically I kind of lease like this, I mean, maybe I'm the better, say if I'm wrong. Like capital expenditures, the, I guess typically like a lease CEO contractor could, be responsible for some of those things, like leasehold improvements, things like that. This was, I guess that was the agreement, that's what I clarified.
Whatever's written in the lease is what you agree upon.
Well, I remember,
I know that, I'm saying that, was that what was agreed upon this? This one?
and I think Susan might remember this as well, when Sean first wrote that contract, I think, that what it said in there was that that they were leasing it, but eventually all the carts would go to them. And I asked about that at that time, why would we let the carts go? And I was told that, well, the carts aren't worth keeping anyways. I mean, well, even if it needs a new battery, it still drives down the road,
Better than walking.
Yeah, and,
Cart costs about $18,000.
yeah. No matter what shape they're in, you can still,
A brand new one was $18,000 from Bar Run.
well, those ones there. They won't be worth $18.
So when you talk to tomorrow, ask too, if that 18 days, 180 days that start as of 10/20, if that's the case, then they're gonna open up in March and shut down in April.
Yeah.
It's long to take the fixtures.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Well, did we ever get the roof on the restaurant thing?
On the porch?
No, what were we supposed to re-roof the rest,
The building was supposed to be re-roofed, but it was supposed to be that, the, what do you call that?
Exhaust, was it?
The exhaust fan in there was never put in. And that's why they have never opened the restaurant, because they were told to the tune of, I don't know, 75,000 or something like that to put that in.
It's needs to be repaired, or it has to be replaced, and there is one.
But it was re-roofed, the building was
that was
re-roofed.
that was part of the contract stuff, I remember.
And I believe the city has went out there and they've done like the maintenance on the buildings. But I think like the bathrooms and the AC and stuff, we've maintained those items.
Yeah, I think we're responsible for that.
But the sprinkler systems and stuff, and I think, well, I know that the city has also took care of all the irrigation pumps.
And say the pumps, I know we
Maintenance.
replaced pumps.
I guess my question is, we can argue over this, what's the expectation, cause. I don't, necessarily expect that we're gonna go out and, hey, you can leave, but you're gonna replace our irrigation, you know, like this is not, that's not gonna happen.
No, I don't.
So looking forward, I'd like to think forward on this a little bit and kind of think about, okay, what, if they do, you know, if they are gonna be vacated after 180 days, what is our responsibility as a city to, and do we want to bring somebody else in, do we want to get it up and going, like, is there opportunities for grants to be able to come in and be able to, you know, make those changes and those fixes that we need so that we can actually have a place that, you know, it's, because that was kind of a part of Myrtle Creek, do you know who we are, kind of thing that we want to, do we want that to be part of our, you know, our city and promotes, and so what's it gonna, what are we going to do to be able to make that happen? That's something I would like, you know, we don't have to discuss it right now, but I want us to be thinking about those things.
Yeah.
Look, I think that was part of the contract of seeing their books was this a profitable business or not?
Exactly, we don't have any idea
Yeah, we
financially.
want to continue to have
what
a golf course.
In that last management file.
Profitable, is it something that brings in
Okay.
tourism
Right.
to whoever operates it? To be able to sustain other businesses and things in the community to help our community.
And kind of what I was kind of sharing, talking about like prior to the meeting with like just in the office there, it's like, I think there was a responsibility, but maybe on both sides where like we could be lifting each other up. For example, like I was talking with Scott today about how he was very difficult to get people down here in Myrtle Creek, because one of it wasn't really well maintained, maybe that you could argue that was his fault, I don't know. But the casino used to be able to bring a lot of, you know, traffic there, they weren't doing that anymore because they were, you know, they had agreements like in Roseburg because Myrtle Creek Road wasn't maintained as well. And also the fact that like, because there was no restaurant, there's no food there, you used to be able to get, you know, a lot of people coming in on a Sunday, you know, and hang out and like little families and things like that, and like, you know, you would. We made the comment like, you know, sometimes the wife would be hanging out and she would be bored after 4 holes and wanna go hang out in the clubhouse. Well, we don't have a clubhouse, so they're not gonna wanna come down and hang out, you know, so they weren't getting that traffic. And so were we responsible for maintaining like, that, I think we're responsible for the clubhouse, right? It's the building, so like we weren't keeping it maintained and we weren't putting money into it, so who's fault, like who's like, we could be helping each other in some fashion to be able to get that traffic, get that tourism, that thing, and so.
But they also weren't putting anything in to be a part of the community yet either, being a viable business within the.
Yeah, but they also were making a lot of money, so I'm not sure if that, maybe they weren't making enough money, they could do that, I don't know, so.
That was something that was talked about in the League of Cities, the Gresham or one of them that, you know, that they had RV parking at the golf course, and that's something that we've discussed before too, because that would be a good idea to have people that, you know, they can stay there. It would make that more attractive.
It's
Yeah,
just
that's something we
there
could, that's
for
something we
RV
could look
parking.
in, that's something we could look into, yeah.
Is there, I don't golf, so is there space out there for?
Yes.
Yeah, you can probably put in 3 or 4 of them.
That's
I
it.
think line is on about 10.
Yeah, there's that one, supposedly there's a one big area kind of as you're entering in, I think.
Yeah, but you got the parking lot there, but you also, well, you could eat up some of that space over there, but there's that one strip that goes up there too.
See, that's
We need a map.
number 10, we discussed it. That's number 10 on our agenda, and it shows that it's checked off.
Yeah.
The RV parking. and-
You guys continue to explore RV park discussions on some of also.
Well, he
Yeah, we did briefly talk about. that.
entertained it evidently, but we didn't, it needs to be reworded as
Yeah.
far as we need to do this. So.
I think we did discuss it.
Needs to be more
Now we
space
should
on
do
the
it.
golf course.
We need to move forward and figure it out and get it done going.
Just advertise RV, bring your golf course or bring your golf clubs.
Well, first we need to see what their expectations are for closeout and what our expectations are for closeout.
And what we will have to maintain it just in general for public safety.
We don't have the resources to maintain that golf course.
No,
But
We don't have the manpower.
Not to maintain it as a golf course.
No, I think that's okay.
Not as a golf course, but there will be some fire hazard concern if it's not mowed.
well, we still have to have the availability to spread the influence on, right?
yes,
And
Yeah.
that was the original loan on that, which gone away, but the original one, was no matter whether it was a cow pasture or not, it still had to have the effluent being pumped on.
So you stand in cities and invest in cows?
Yeah, there we go, let's raise the cow. No, you can't have them in the city limits.
Any other discussion on that, or do we wanna?
No, we need more information
Yeah.
before we can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bring it up again, you know.
All right, moving on, city administrator report.
So I've been working weekly with FEMA. Trying to get the grants filled out for the flood reimbursement. We finally got one. It's went to their auditors, so they're going through it. They've had some questions. We've had to change a few things. Trying to find some information. They wanna know. Like the agreement between us and the fire department on how we decided to give them their $5 per call stipend. We're having trouble finding that information. And other than that, we're just clicking away weekly with that.
Is it looking going forward, or we see still gonna be at a pretty big loss, aren't we?
Yeah, it's not definitely, because then whatever we get, it's only gonna be 75% of what they valued it at. And they wanna really beat us up, and like lender to land, they wanna figure out what it's gonna cost to replace that one stick of pipe that failed up there. They don't care about the rest of the pipe being bad. They just wanna pay for that one piece of pipe to be
So we're
replaced.
gonna go from almost $300,000 down to probably 20.
Yeah, I'm estimating we're gonna be somewhere south of 100,000 we're gonna get out of the deal. If we're lucky. We're working on the union negotiations. I feel like that's going very well. Haven't had any big problems with anybody. Everybody seems happy. And this year we tried winterizing the pool instead of every other year. Previously, we've dumped it. We would just turn off the chemical and let it set all winter and it'd get all nasty and green. And then we would dump it all out and fill it with new water and then rebalance it. This year we got, it's like $600 for all the chemicals to balance or to winterize it. And I think he's got to go over there and run it for like a week or a day, one day a week, a couple hours a week or something.
Just running equipment.
They'll just fire up the pump and circulate everything for a couple hours and then shut it off. So we're hoping that next spring when we open it, we just gotta clean it and we're good. So we'll not have to replace 180,000 gallons refilling the pool.
I was gonna say, yeah, but that's cost a lot more than $600.
Yeah, it takes about a month from when we start draining it to when it's actually finally full and balanced. Of 1 to 2 guys over there working every day, all day long to get it going.
That's what's $600. Good. Oh my God. Any questions for?
How's the new guy working out?
Bob?
How's the new guy working out?
Bob, I think he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
He seems to really like what he's doing.
And we got, about 30 days left on the applications for the
I think we're in 3 weeks right now. We've got,
rest 3 weeks.
yeah, we've got 2 applicants.
And you said they weren't.
Yeah, one of them was in-house. He has no background or experience in the water, wastewater field, so he would be a completely all new learner. And then the other one was the previous public works foreman here, Daniel Walton. He came in and applied. I think he showed up Monday. Dropped off his application.
When he left here, he didn't have his water or sewer or anything, did he?
I don't know if I haven't looked at the application. I don't know if he's acquired any certs.
He has a CDL. So we were had to have that.
Yes, I believe he has that.
Any questions? Council reports, Bob.
Met with, the chamber president, Susan, and with Shane Kelly from the library on the visitor center. Jason Mann was invited to me, was going to be there and then didn't show up. Anyways, we are set to tentatively open Halloween. So we're gonna try and hand out some candy down there.
That'd be good.
So there's gonna be a lot of people in town, you know, be high visibility to the visitor center that afternoon. So we're hoping to open it up then and then our goal is to have it open 2 days a week, maybe only one day a week for the winter. But at least 2 days a week, about April.
Full days.
Full days, yeah, like 10 to 4, that type of thing.
That's a full day.
Yeah, for a lot of people it is. Not for me ever.
Oh, we'll have it open during the 14K.
Yeah, any event.
Yeah, the event in the winter that's downtown. And I have been given, I should say, free reign to go in and hang stuff up on the walls.
What Joanna has done so far looks great. Thank you, Joanna. That looks fantastic in there.
Nice. I didn't have to do anything.
Such as like historic photos and.
Right.
and
We
things.
got donated, which, you know, I've lived in this town for 30+ years. Have never seen a picture of what Millsite Park when it was a mill.
Right.
And Shane Kelly donated I don't know.
Well, it's huge.
good size picture overhead of that mill with the wigwam and everything, which is pretty cool.
I think, don't we have a bunch of old pictures and stuff?
Well, that one green board is down there. We met
That
with
one
it.
that used to be in here is down there on the wall.
That one green board, Joanna took it down there. and it
Looks
really good in
nice.
there.
Oh, I didn't do that. The guys did that.
1940s from up on top of Bull Road, actually showing Millside Park and a lot of stuff, but it's actually pretty bare. I think you've seen that picture. There's a lot of trees. I'd be willing to let somebody take that and make a copy of that. If you want it for that or anything else.
If you want us to hang your portrait there for a minute. He was around the 40s.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool picture.
We had some former, people that lived in the city that sent a long time, well, a couple years ago to Stephen Carroll Hall, flyers or movie things from the 60s for the Rio Theater and Tri-City Drive-In that the chamber has framed, and we'll be hanging those up. And if I can get possession back of the Rio popcorn bag that I donated to the city that somehow ended up not there anymore, it's in the home of Dolores Hanson's daughter, who she probably will give it back to us. We'd like to hang that in there, and then we have, what else do we have there?
There's a couple other pictures there, but you know, if you have some historic pictures or anything like that, then we want to put those up as well. And-
Anything that goes back to the prune days, the old prune orchard.
Oh, yeah.
The dryers.
Yeah, just
That'd be
anything, I
good.
mean, it's just something for people to look at, you know, when they come in and it's open, and all, of course, any event flyers or whatever will be displayed in there in the window. If it's not open, people can at least come up and see. I did leave back here, the old open sign that we had at the Happy Donut before I replaced it with a different one that we're gonna have hung in the window so that people will know it's open.
And at one time we had, just what, about 10-15 years ago, we did that history book. They did that history book about Myrtle Creek. And I know there was a box of those somewhere. And if anybody happens to know where those are at, I'd like to put several of those down there, you know, and have them on display and maybe for sale if someone wants to buy a book on Myrtle Creek. Or if somebody has one, at least we can get a hold of the publisher and get some more orders.
I have one.
So
You can order
I
them
had
on
one that I could give
Amazon.
away as a gift to somebody that.
You say you do have one?
Don't like Chris. I think I got it for a Christmas present one year. Yeah, Myrtle Creek book.
And then we also talked about, getting a mural on the big white wall that's on the front of it there, because it's such a perfect spot, you know, it can just be something really nice that says Myrtle Creek Visitor Center or something like that. So yeah.
We're working with our mural committee. So, hopefully that'll all work out and everybody will come down and at least, we're not gonna give tours through that evening because I think with all the kids up, we don't want the kids coming in there and falling down the stairs or something like that, you know? But at least, they'll come by and see that it's open and there's some memorabilia in there and stuff, and they'll know that it'll be open. We'll have our hours posted, so. Hope to see all of you down. In costume.
Supposed to rain pretty heavy about that.
Is it really?
I think it is.
Oh, wow.
That's quite.
Don't say that.
No,
It's what, it's.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm thinking this Friday. I'm
No,
thinking
it's not next Friday, a week from Friday.
Yeah, there's no way.
That's all I have. Next Friday.
Well,
Davey?
I don't have anything other than Halloween will be a busy night because that's also homecoming and senior night out of the high school. So there will be quite a few people in town with lots of things going on.
Who are they playing that night?
Sutherland.
Sutherland.
A lot of people from Sutherland.
Kathy?
Hi, yeah, the ideas on the visitor center sound great, and I'm just gonna throw this out here, this is really premature, and I don't even know if it's even feasible. Or for whatever reason, the opposite side of where Tommy's is, where the window is, that looks like the perfect place to have a walk up where you would have a little menu for breakfast or something, goodies, like little cakes, packaged cakes and stuff, and a little coffee. I don't know, I just.
Visitor center or
Tommy's?
Tommy's?
Huh?
Visitor center or Tommy's?
The visitor center.
Well, that would entail having food permits
Yeah,
and
but
handler
you don't
things,
make
yeah.
it. Okay, just. Every time I look at that, I see a little shelf where you could just walk up and do a little order, I don't know. For people looking at that.
Thanks to be
I'm sure on the
It
days,
does, it's crazy.
I'm sure on the days that we have people in there staffing it, we will probably have some happy donuts in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say. We're volunteering. I'm retired.
I know that. But you still have that.
So you go buy us donuts.
Go buy it, like.
I wanted to talk about a community garden, I don't know if I need to get it on the menu or whatever, but people would really like to have a community garden, and they tried, but there was water rights. We learned more about water rights than we ever wanted to know because of Serena being involved in using her water. So I was talking to Shane, and he would be willing to help out with, where the moon tree and that the learning garden that he's putting in the other corner of that park, because it's downhill. So if the city would help out with watering, it's the perfect place because it's like in the middle of town and everybody could come to the library and do their garden. It's just a good addition in a community to have a community garden for people that have apartments or for whatever reason they can't have a garden. And that was something else that was big at the LOC tours that I went on. They had rooftop gardens, or they had secured a part of the park that was close by to the they have business and living in the apartments. So do we need to put it on the agenda? Because he said that would qualify for the farm to table grants, whereas his learning garden would not. But you could get grant money to help pay for whatever you need to pay for, water, whatever.
What location did they run it at last time that it didn't work?
It was down by Serena.
On O.
That's where the string is.
And we didn't have city water there. We were using, Serena was watering it for us
Is
and,
her big one now community, or is it just?
no, that's hers.
It's her own private garden?
The community does not have a
I
garden.
think she grows it for her other.
But that seems like a perfect place and it's not being used for anything. And like Shane said, because it's downhill from the moon tree and the learning garden, that's more damp anyway. And it'd be better located for morning sun and all that. So if I need to get it on the agenda to discuss,
I have it noted here.
so I've had people message me about getting a community garden
Yeah,
instead.
put it on the agenda. Come up with a prospectus on it too, so we kind of have an expectation of what we're looking at, you know?
I'll talk to Shane.
Well, I want you to do it.
It'll make a big difference, it's gonna be tilled ground, it's gonna be above and bottom.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Whatever the people want to do, it's what I think, it's like over in Port Orford, they have a really nice community park. It's by the baseball field, and, you know, people come in and they have their little plots.
Yeah,
And,
maybe that would be the grant
And
that
people
would
just,
cover the
you know,
water.
think about gardening, other people can help them. You know, it's just a nice community thing. So go ahead and put it on the agenda, please. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
That's a
a
very
good
good
question.
question.
At one time, that's where the splash pad was
Oh, is that where they were gonna put it?
over in that area over there, I believe.
It was gonna be right along the fence of the pool.
Was it- Oh, yeah, they were gonna do that right there above the basketball court, right
Mhm.
there, yeah,
Yes,
okay,
that's what I remember.
okay.
That piece hasn't been spoken.
Yeah, there's still a lot of money in that fund.
What's one?
The splash pad fund.
Oh, really? There's funds in that money that we were talking to that girl about?
Yeah,
Funds that we,
Was that an LOC?
yeah. Talking about,
that's for splash pad, but.
yeah, well, that was an option that we were discussing.
Yeah, we were talking about skate park with
Yeah,
that.
but every year.
We were talking about fast pass too, because there was like, there's cheaper, because it's cheaper. Yeah.
Maybe part of that parks planning grant.
Yeah.
It's just for mill site.
It's not for all the parks.
No baby pictures or anything?
Share it.
Yeah, we'll get it so we can see it on
So
screen.
it's about space time, isn't it? Almost space time.
Yeah. All right, adjourned.